Hi, my name is Natalia Johnson. I'm a student at the University of Minnesota, and today I'm going to share with you what it was like to be an immigration writer with Latino Republic. My role was to write articles that raised awareness about Latinx immigrant experiences in the United States. To do this, I interviewed people with important experiences to share on the matter, and I combed through research materials that would contextualize their narratives. I was the first intern to join for this position, and I started off by focusing on a big topic, the Supreme Court decision on the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program that was handed down on June 18, 2020. I knew I needed to write on this because other publications kept centering their narratives on this elite back and forth between Trump and the Supreme Court and excluded the very voices of people directly affected by the decision. I knew my approach needed to be different and down to earth, which is why I was overwhelmingly grateful when I was able to interview with a participant in the program. At the end of our interview, she said that she had never used this kind of platform to share her experiences before, and she thanked me for the opportunity. I am grateful to have connected with her, and that because of that connection, my article raised awareness of her specific experiences as an immigrant in the DACA program. My articles also worked towards understanding the unique and common challenges that immigrants face in different areas of the United States. My second piece was about a nonprofit in Minneapolis, Minnesota called COPAL. This acronym, in English, stands for Communities Organizing Latinx Power and Action. The Latinx population in Minnesota is relatively small, so I spoke with one of COPAL's directors about how their organization is seeking to make the community visible by not being undercounted in the 2020 census. Moving our mindset from the Midwest to the Southwest, I also had the honor of interviewing an attorney who founded the Santa Fe Dreamers Project in New Mexico. This state has the highest percentage of people who are labeled Hispanic or Latino out of any state. That article focuses a lot on the unique challenges that immigrants held in detention centers face, particularly for transgender women fleeing persecution only to be met with sexual abuse and harassment and dehumanizing solitary confinement within detention centers. The commonalities I found between these two immigrant advocacy organizations, however, is that they both discussed how language barriers need to be diminished. That's why they viewed having staff that are bilingual in English and Spanish as a strength, allowing their organizations to connect with more people. The immigration writer team talks a lot about how our articles must balance between reporting on challenging social issues and reporting how people are solving those issues. At the same time, we strike a balance between centering leaders and the folks who are focused on other things but still care about making a difference. For example, in my third piece, I highlighted how the government agency ICE, or Immigration and Customs Enforcement, had announced their plan for a Citizens Academy in Chicago, Illinois, to show U.S. citizens how the agency conducts targeted arrests. This PR stunt was met with a loud uproar from elected officials and the wider public alike. And my piece talks about how thousands of people submitted fake applications to the program in an effort to disrupt it. They were prompted by a group called Never Again Action, a Jewish-led organization whose mission is to work against ICE. Bringing this voice to light was important to me because it emphasizes the intersectional approach that's necessary in all efforts towards liberation. This internship has shaped my life both personally and professionally. On a personal level, it has given me space to learn more about my identity since I fit the label of a second-generation immigrant. It's provided me with specific incentive to vote despite my reservations about Biden. Because even after the Supreme Court decision I mentioned earlier, the Trump administration has continued to attack the DACA program, and by extension, the hundreds of thousands of people involved in it. Since the recipients of the program are barred from citizenship and therefore cannot vote, I cannot be silent when people I know, people I care about, would be devastated by deportation. This internship has also benefited me professionally because I've learned how to be an effective interviewer. Despite my desire to want to ask a million questions, I've learned how to choose what's most relevant to the vision of the article. I will continue to build upon what I learned at Latina Republic going forward. I've actually been invited to speak about my work as a guest this fall with a class at my school called Latinx Immigration and Community Engagement. Latina Republic is planting seeds of advocacy across the U.S. in the college students that work as interns. Through our work, we become more informed. We inform our networks and bring into the picture the need to respect human rights of immigrants. It has helped us open our minds to new information, to use our talents to build powerful connections, and uplift experiences that might otherwise have gone about unheard on a larger scale. The article on Copal broke 1,000 views recently, which is the highest volume of any article ever written at Latina Republic. I am humbled by this news, and I can safely say that this internship has changed me for the better. It has made me reckon with the legacy of racist violence in my own state, in my own city, in my own school system, and how this impacts me and shines a light on the work I must do internally and externally to be actively anti-racist. It has also affirmed my dream of becoming a Spanish and English-speaking therapist. This internship has been my most fulfilling professional work yet, and I can't believe I have to move on so soon. But before I go, I have some final words of thanks. To the Immigration Writer team, thank you for giving me hope. It brings me hope to know that across the US, there are people who care about making a positive difference. But we wouldn't have connected at all without the vision of our executive director, Dr. Quartucci. So an enormous thanks to her. I will always appreciate her leadership. And finally, thanks to you for listening today. Thank you for recognizing that we each have a role to play in putting our talents towards the pursuit of liberation and justice. Thank you for finding your role, your voice, and for joining in that pursuit with all of us.